Nvidia has officially announced the 50 series GPUs, and I will do my best to make a very short and to the point video about the information that you will probably find most relevant. Now, it's past midnight here. I just finished watching the presentation. I have to work in the morning. If I look tired, it's because I am. And this video may not be as polished as all my other videos, so thank you for your understanding and your patience. And if you don't mind, please like and subscribe if you appreciate this effort. All right, here is the relevant information. Nvidia did officially announce the 5090, the 5080, the 5070 Ti, and the 5070. No word on the 5060 Ti or the 5060 at this time. The 5090 and the 5080 are scheduled to release January the 30th, 2025. Yes, they are both releasing on the same day. There is currently no confirmed release date for the 5070 Ti or the 5070 at this time, but most people are speculating sometime in February. In terms of pricing, this is what you're looking at. The 5090 is coming in at $2,000, the 5080 is coming in at $1,000, the 5070 Ti is coming in at $750, and the 5070 is coming in at $550. So while the VRAM for all of these cards will be GDDR7, and the 5070 will have 12 gigabytes, the 5070 Ti and the 5080 will both have 16 gigabytes, and the 5090 will have 32 gigabytes. And in terms of the memory interface bus width, the 5070 is 192-bit, the 5070 Ti and 5080 are both 256-bit, and the 5090 is 512-bit. And now the other most notable announcement is DLSS 4, and as expected, it is exclusive to the 50 series GPUs. No surprise here, Nvidia has been iterating on DLSS the last several GPU generations, and so naturally we went from DLSS to DLSS 2, 3, and now 4. Now DLSS 4 aims to improve all the things related to DLSS, so of course that means better image stabilization, better ray reconstruction. They are now offering something called single frame generation. Basically, it is improved performance and it reduces the memory usage. In short, it takes up a little less VRAM whenever you turn on frame generation. In addition to that, DLSS 4 brings along with it multi-frame generation, and so now you will have multiple modes to choose from. I think I saw somewhere that you could choose between a 3x mode and a 4x mode, and if you look at any of the charts provided by Nvidia, you can see that 4x mode is the option that is constantly being used, and the fact that it uses the word mode does indicate that there are multiple options available now for frame generation. DLSS 4 will launch on day 1 to 75 games, and some of the games listed to support this include Cyberpunk 2077, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Black Myth Wukong, and they're even advertising Doom: The Dark Ages. And look, here's the thing with DLSS 4. The goal here is to provide multiple frames in between rendered frames. And so previously you would get one AI generated frame inserted between two real rendered frames. However, now they're able to insert multiple AI generated frames between two rendered frames. And so naturally what that means is that your frame rate counter will go a lot higher. Nvidia is advertising 4K 480 hertz displays is what they're targeting. And so obviously the only way you're going to get anywhere near 480 hertz at 4K is by utilizing technologies like DLSS 4 and frame generation. Now, the problem with frame generation in the past is the fact that it also introduced added latency anytime you used it, and that's where the other announcement of Nvidia Reflex 2 comes in. And the short version is that this is coming to the market very soon, and overall it aims to be a better version of Nvidia Reflex, and basically it helps to lower your PC latency even further than it was already doing before. And I'm sure this was probably in response to the added latency coming down the pipeline with DLSS 4 and multi-frame generation. Because before, we already saw additional latency being added to the system by inserting one frame. And so now that they're inserting multiple frames, I would imagine the latency penalty is only getting worse, and so they needed extra technology to help bring it down. Hence, we now have Reflex 2 coming to the market. Okay, now let's talk about my overall thoughts and some other things that were mentioned in the presentation. So the 5070 was marketed to be the same gaming performance as a 4090, but instead of paying, $1,600 for a 4090, you can now pay $549 and get the exact same gaming performance. Now that sounds great on paper. However, we have seen a very similar situation to this before. 4 years ago, Nvidia made the same claim about the 3070 and the 2080 Ti. Now technically technically back then they said the 3070 was actually faster than the 2080 Ti, and also technically they were correct. However, the 2080 Ti had 3 more gigs of VRAM, and over time that proved to be very important. And some people now say that the 2080 Ti aged better than the 3070. However, this time it's a little bit different because number one, they're not saying the 5070 is faster than the 4090. They are saying it is the equivalent to the 4090. And number two, the 5070 has 12 gigabytes of VRAM, whereas the 4090 has 24 gigabytes of VRAM. So the 4090 literally has doubled the amount of VRAM here. And so I'm predicting that over time, the 4090 will age a lot better than the 5070 will. That's just my prediction. All that remains to be seen. Now, the other big question here that really stands out to me like a sore thumb is when you say a 5070 is the same gaming performance as a 4090, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean native rendering, raw rasterization, or are we talking a whole bunch of DLSS and frame generation here? And if we are talking about frame generation and DLSS, are we at least using a like for like comparison here? Are you using frame generation on the 4090 and frame generation on the 5070? And if you are you using multi-frame generation on the 5070 to equal the single frame generation on the 4090? There's just so many questions here, and the charts are less than clear. Nvidia did put out quite a few charts, and as to be expected from all the big companies these days, you can't ever get a clear chart saying, hey, look, here is pure raw rasterization, native performance, and this is how it performs. Instead, there's a whole bunch of caveats down at the bottom. DLSS this, multi-frame generation here, DLSS 3.5 there, where applicable here, and the list goes on, right? And so you kind of have to do a math equation to really kind of figure out, okay, this is being used on this game, but it's not being used on that game. How does it compare? It's not clear. And so really, we're going to have to wait for the third-party benchmarks to come out and see really how everything stacks up at the end of the day. Again, 4090 gaming performance for $549. It sounds incredible, but let's see how that actually plays out in the real world. Now let's talk about the 5070 Ti and the 5080. So the 5070 Ti coming in at $750 really isn't too terrible of a price. What I'm more interested in here is how similar it is to the 5080. You're talking the same amount of VRAM and the same bus width there. And so the main difference here will come down to the CUDA core count. So the 5070 Ti has 8,960 CUDA cores, whereas the 5080 has 10,752 CUDA cores. And I didn't mention it before, but by the way, the 5070 has 6,144 CUDA cores. And so as the name suggests, and as you can see from the CUDA core count, the 5070 Ti will be faster than the 5070, and the 5080 will be faster than the 5070 Ti. However, depending on how everything plays out and real world gaming performance, the 5070 Ti may be the go-to card here because you're looking at $750, which no, it's not the cheapest, but it's also definitely not the most egregious pricing we've ever seen from Nvidia. But you're getting the extra VRAM over the 5070, you're getting the same amount of VRAM as the 5080 and the same bus width, but it's actually a lot cheaper. And it's definitely going to be faster than the 5070, which is supposed to be the same performance as the 4090. So technically it's going to be faster than the 4090 if you're following me with all of this, right? So I just wish we had clear charts that said, hey, look, here is raw rasterization. That would make things so much easier. But unfortunately, marketing teams, well, bigger number better, right? They got to jack those numbers up, right? Okay, 5090, let's talk about that really quickly. So the 5090 is coming in with 21,760 CUDA cores. Now, this is a situation where Nvidia wants you to know that the 5090 is not like the rest of the cards. You are talking the best of the best, king of the hill, creme de la creme, top of the line. And so that's also why you're having to pay $2,000 for it if you're interested in it. But a lot of people would make the argument that this is for enthusiast level builders, PC builders and PC gamers, and even people who have really heavy creative workflows and they need that extra VRAM for 3D rendering or whatever they may be doing. And so from that standpoint, the cost is a little bit more justifiable because I already get comments about how a 4090 isn't needed for gaming, and technically that's true. And so obviously a 5090 is also not needed for gaming, but people are still going to use it for gaming, right? I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Now, look, with all that being said, I definitely am interested to see how all this plays out. I want to try DLSS 4 for myself. I want to compare the 5070 to the 4090 in native rendering and see what the actual results are. Obviously, I can't wait to play with the 5090 and compare it to my 4090 and see how much of a performance boost I'm getting there. The 5080, I think coming in at $1,000 is about what we could really expect there. I know there was a a lot of rumors online and leakers. I'm not going to reference any other YouTubers or articles that were written or anything, but a lot of people were saying the 5080 was going to be, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. And I never reported on that because I never believed it to be true. And the reason why is because I'm looking at the history, right? 4080 comes out, $1,199 US MSRP. Everybody loses their minds. Everybody's incredibly upset about that pricing. It's incredibly vocal. It's all online. It was on Twitter. It was on Reddit. It was all in the YouTube comments. If you had a 4080, a lot of people would shame you for it. A lot of people would tell you, hey, you should have just, spent the extra money and got a 4090. And then in a lot of cases, people did trade in their 4080s and they went and they purchased a 4090. And then when the 4080 Super came out, well, they lowered the price to $999, which is where a lot of people in the community were saying that the 4080 should have been to begin with, especially because it was going against AMD Radeon's 7900 XTX, which also had a US MSRP of $999. And so in my opinion, there was never any real concrete evidence here that would remotely suggest that a 5080 could come out and Nvidia could get away with it being $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. That never would have made sense. And so $999, in my opinion, is exactly where you should expect it to be. And if you don't like that price, well, the 5070 Ti is looking very pretty right there with a smaller CUDA core count, but the same VRAM and the same bus width, coming in at $750. And look, overall, here are my final thoughts. Number one, GPU season is officially back. It is up on us, and I'm incredibly excited. I will be making a ton of GPU content, so get excited, stay tuned, get subscribed, all the things. We will be doing a lot of GPU testing and GPU reviews here on the channel, so get ready for that. Number two, I think the 5070 Ti might just be the most popular GPU this generation. It's going to come close with the 5070 for sure, because money talks at the end of the day, and marketing also works very well. Hey, a 4090 for $549. Hey, who doesn't want that, right? But the question is actually going to be, okay, is it actually 4090 performance, right? And even if it actually is, it has 12 gigabytes of VRAM, and I think that's going to really hurt the card. Overall, it'll sell well. People will buy it, no doubt about it, but I do think the 5070 Ti will probably be the most popular card here. And honestly, bold prediction, I think the 5090 might outsell the 5080. That's just a guess because, the 4090 was very popular, and I think once you have a taste of that 90 series class, it's kind of hard to go back down to an 80 series class. But the caveat there will be how well will the 5080 perform in comparison to the 4090 and the 5090, but then at the same time, you're literally talking half the VRAM, right? So if you go with a 5080, you're at 16 gigabytes of VRAM, but if you go with the 5090, you have 32 gigabytes of VRAM. And so I do think the 5080, even at $999, is probably going to be the worst selling GPU, but that is just my prediction. But that's what I got. You let me know what you think in the comment section down below. It's approaching 1 a.m. I've got to get in bed. I got to work tomorrow. Hey, if you appreciate the effort here, like, comment, subscribe. I look forward to talking to you down below. Let me know what I missed and messed up. Show me some grace because I'm tired. All right. Until next time, E-Rock out.